There's a new scam going on targeting crypto investors. I ordered this for my wife, but I received a whole lot of altcoins. Fortunate, Unfortunately, it's non-refundable, so I cannot send it back. So if you also fell for this scam, or if you're planning to, send this to your wife to justify why you have no money and now are sitting on a fat bag of altcoins. And let me talk about what I think you should do with these altcoins if you now own them. Should you panic sell? Should you panic buy more? Should you just panic wait and see what's gonna happen? Let's get into that. Welcome to Blockchain Decoded. Used to be the FOMO Factory, just a different name, nothing changes, only getting better and better. Hopefully, let me know in the comments. So, like the video if you like the video already, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. For the people that just woke up, no, this wasn't like, okay, I don't hope that I have to, At the moment, small correction. Right? And what's funny is that if there's a correction in crypto, people freak the hell out. Like, it is absolutely nuts. Like, whoa, we finally made money with altcoins and now it's going down again. Typical crypto. Yeah, it is actually typical crypto. That's what happened the cycle before this and the cycle before that. It's very normal. And you have to have some sort of conviction, right? Are you playing this game because you really believe in the market? Or are you playing this game because you are not really sure, but you just hope you're gonna make it? Because there's that line between there that's standing in the way between you on a yacht and you cleaning the yacht, right? Like, that's where you make money or don't make money. So let me explain this. And why, who am I to explain? Look, I came in crypto in 2013. I fucked up in 2013. I did literally not know what I was doing. I bought a Bitcoin for $400. You might say like, "Wow, nice. Yeah, I sold it for 800." Right? In 2017, I was in altcoins. I was riding the altcoin season, bull market. It was nuts. It was completely crazy. But I have no idea. I had no idea about cycles. I didn't know, right? So I wrote it all down. And I kind of bought like into the whole bear market and eventually lost more than I made. And in 2021, I started to do well. 2025, this cycle, I feel like, I think I've kind of been here. Like, I don't know if it's exactly going to repeat like it did last cycles, but so far it does, give or take, right? Mostly. So, yeah. In that case, I think I know how I want to ride this market. And let me just share the experience that I have. But let me know what's the biggest lesson that you have learned in crypto. And not maybe just this cycle, but just ever, right? So at the moment, there is a correction going on, like, and everything is set with that. But the sentiment is not now getting completely terrible because there's just a correction, right? It's not really that bad. Ethereum is down 10%. Some altcoins are down 15, maybe 20%, right? And of course it's a lot, but it's altcoins, right? If you don't expect that to happen within 2 days, then you manage your expectations, right? That's altcoins. Like, we came here for the gains, so we should accept the losses as well. But I think that the biggest problem is coming from the fact that, the market is going up, giving people hope, right? After going down and sideways and being boring for a long time. And then goes down again, and then people feel like, it was just getting fun, man. Like, are you now already going down again? Like, why? And I get that. That's like a bit of a party pooper, actually. It's very, very stupid what happens. So let's all blame the market. Then again, should we? And is it weird what we are seeing? Well, this cycle so far is kind of showing us like, hey, whenever the market turns around, we usually get a couple weeks of bullishness and then it turns kind of red again. If you look, for example, we came out of the bear market, right? This is the altcoin market excluding stable coins, right? If you look, right, we came out of the bear market right here and we started to go up and people were like, oh yeah, it's getting fun again, right? And then what happens? we get that red week, right? And this was not a very big red week or anything, but hey, I mean, wick to wick, it was down with 11, 12%. And that kind of sucked after you got somewhat used to getting green, 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 right? But then it went up again, red, up again, big red candle right here. Little hope, and then red, red, red. People were like, oh, okay, never mind, right? Like, it's not working out anymore. And then green, green, green. Like, it's normal. It's normal. Crypto comes with a lot of corrections, especially the altcoin markets, right? In this cycle so far, we basically have seen two major legs up so far and two big corrections, right? The first big correction was a total of 51%, and the second big correction was a total of 54%, give or take, right? Now, is that really that weird? It is not weird, but the problem is, though, that the corrections are taking longer than the legs up. And the thing is, in my opinion, people first like to see confirmation, like, hey, we came out of the correction, we're going up, 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 okay, we're going up, cool, let me buy, right? And they have 1, maybe 2 weeks to ride that wave up, and before they know it, they're in an 8 months downwards correction again. And that's mentally, like, I get it, that's not nice, right? Therefore, what would help, because we cannot control the market is gonna fucking do this anyway, right? Whether you go in, out, doesn't matter. Right? The market is going to do what it's going to do. So the best way to ride it is just to say, like, hey, we now have an 11% correction. Cool. You know what I'm going to do right now? Absolutely fucking nothing, right? Because what if you bought the 11% correction here? You would have bought here, right? That would have sucked, like price and time-wise. So what's better? Make sure that you have a bag of stables that you are happy with if we have a real big correction, but that you also have a bag of crypto that you're happy with if we go up. And in that case, if we now go down, right, for a long time, a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 months or whatever, right, you feel like every week that we're down a little bit further, you feel like, nice, I didn't buy last week. I haven't bought the week before that. Now I can make a good purchase, right? That's a good feeling, actually. If you skip all the 10% corrections, 20% corrections even, because 20% corrections in altcoins, it's nothing, right? We all know that. It could be way more, right? And at a certain point, when we get a real nice capitulation, right, that's where you buy. Overall, this is the altcoin market, right? It is in an upwards trend. Look, this is a bear market. This is a accumulation phase, and this is a bull market. What do you do in a bear market? If you still hold something, you sell the pumps, right? As far as you get a pump, right? That's what you do. And in accumulation phase, you accumulate. In a bull market, you buy the pullbacks, right? Or long, whatever. But let's say when it comes to spot buying, you buy the pullbacks, right? The real pullbacks. So overall, if you want to make money in this market, it's a matter of, like, in hindsight, it's easy, I know, but, you know, in the time that we get such a washout, you'll notice it, right? If you buy somewhere here, right, write it up, take some profits. If you are up like 2-3x on certain positions, like, that's nice, right? It's not a 30x that everybody's calling for, of course not. But if you make a 3x right here, take some profits, you buy it back, and you make a 2x right here, you're compounding, and eventually you will get to that 30x while people still wait for the 30x move. Guess what? A 30x move is not this. A 30x move is this. This is in total a 30x, right? This in total is being, I don't know, lucky as fuck, right? So buy the pullbacks, I would say. I'm not buying right now. I am happy with what I have. I said last week on the channel, I sold some positions like Ethereum. I took some profits on that. While the world took some profits on that, you know, and this is a good example as well, right? As you can see, I bought here, here, like a lot of time between my buys. And I waited for a long time, and I sold here, and I waited a long time again. Bought here, Waited a long time. This is a weekly chart, right? Waited a long time again, right? From April here to July, right? Wasn't even that long, but you know, and it sold here, here, and here, right? So I am not like this chart. Still, it's also, if you look at this chart on its own, right, and you remove everything, you'd be like, it has nice pumps, it has ridiculous dumps, it's wild, right? No pun intended on that, but it's really wild. But there's no alt season in this chart whatsoever, right? Yet I'm on big profits on this asset right here. And that's just because you don't have to like trade it, but you can invest. And once you'll notice like, hey, I'm in good profit, take some out. It's, you know, it's trading basically, but still. So at the moment, I'm not doing much. I took my profits, and whenever it goes down further, I'm a buy, right? I'm a buy, because this market looks far from over, actually. If it goes up, I'm gonna take more profits. It's easy as that. And now, of course, we can again all speculate. I know, again, the sentiment is still not great, right? Altcoins are not doing 5x's yet. Some, at least, most are not. So the sentiment isn't great, and people are saying like, yeah, we won't get an alt season, right? It won't happen. Look, in my opinion, I don't know, right? I don't know. My best guess is that it will happen, because again, thinking that this time is different, so far also this cycle has shown us like, wrong, right? Bitcoin is ripping once again. The people came with the 5, 3, 8, 16, whatever the fuck theory on Bitcoin, that it should top out at 60, 70K off the table, right? Ethereum was supposed to be dead. Untrue. It's all playing out, but it just takes time. And this market really shows like who has patience and who has no patience. And the ones with no patience, they like to say that it's over, that it's different, but there are also the ones that don't make shit in this market. And it's hard. I'm sometimes telling stuff on this channel that some people might get offended by, like, I don't like to hear that. And I know that, and I'm sorry for that, but it's what the market is doing, right? We have to accept that the market is just not really that easy, especially for newcomers. And there's a really good way to play this, right? And in the meantime, it's loading up for something big, because the writings are on the wall. Bitcoin still, I mean, look, it's 113K right now, 113K, right? And people are saying that this is bearish. A couple months ago, like, we are so focused at the moment, right? We saw Bitcoin go to 123. So we're like, well, that's now the floor, right? And then if it goes lower, then it's automatically bearish. Well, if you look, last month, which was like 2 days ago, Bitcoin had the highest monthly close ever, right? If you look at the weekly chart, 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin had the highest weekly close ever. You cannot look at Bitcoin and say anything bearish, in my opinion. It's not. Bitcoin is going up, and yeah, are there also red candles? Yeah, of course, right? But it's looking fantastic, actually. Bitcoin is adding fuel to the tank, right? That fuel went to Ethereum. Ethereum, yeah, sitting at resistance right here. So getting rejected at a resistance area, it's not like bearish or anything. It's not like, wow, that's bad. It's normal, and we hope that at a certain point it will break, right? Well, this wasn't the point. This wasn't it. Maybe next attempt, right? Whatever, no rush. If you are in a rush, at the next pump, take money out, because apparently you're in with too much, right? Why would you be in a rush? But Ethereum, in my opinion, on the shorter time frame, we have to see, because this point was resistance, right? We have resistance here, here a little bit, here support, resistance, here we had a lot of resistance. Now it came here and potentially touched this as support. If it breaks, also, it's not like that bad. Then we still have this, right? And We have a lot of moving averages that are far below the current price right now, right? Bull market support band, 50 weekly moving average, this diagonal, we have this support right there. Ethereum, anywhere above 3K is bullish as fuck, really. And even above 2700 still looks bullish, right? Even if we break this trend line. We broke it right here. What caused it? It caused the people that say that Ethereum wasn't that to ride a 3x pump on the safest altcoin out there. Like, these things are blessings as long as you don't assume that everything will go up only from this point because your average entry wasn't the best. That's really... and look, I'm not saying that this is all great and like, of course, it sucks that prices are down. I'm saying there is opportunity in low prices, right? If it's not low, then you don't have a low entry. So where are you going to get your profits from, right? That's simply what it is. At the moment, if I look at others, right, the altcoin market without the top 10, then I posted this on Twitter as well. I said 260 to 50 billion. Look, I'm not guaranteeing anyone that that will hold, but I am saying, like, if you feel like I'm not positioned well enough yet, then that's the level, right? And why is that the level? We have a couple things right here. We have the 50 weekly moving average. There's the bull market support band right there. There's this horizontal support / resistance, which it was. And we have on the FIB, the golden zone of the 0.5 and the 0.618. All coming in at that exact level, right? 4 huge pieces of support at one level. Again, I'm not saying that it will hold, but if it bounces here, this was the obvious place to put a buy in if you are not well positioned yet. So, although it went down, there's a lot of support. We broke a lot of resistance in the last couple of weeks, which we can now use as support. And that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. So that looks pretty fine. And we have to realize the altcoin market, it just pumped with 60% in 4 weeks, right? So that it's now down with 15%. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's not nice, but is it weird? Is it bad? Is it like... It's fine. It's crypto, right? If we go back to the last bull run, I think... let me know, when did you start crypto, though? I think a lot of people weren't here back then, at least. If you zoom in, look, this was a moment in the altcoin market where it went fully parabolic. But this was alt season, right? We are not there yet. And why was that alt season? Well, if you overlay the Bitcoin dominance on here, you can see that that's where the Bitcoin dominance did not just go down, but it truly collapsed, right? This was alt season. Before that, we had, the Bitcoin dominance go up, down, up, like not an alt season, right? And what did altcoins do back then? Yeah, look, even this small correction was 30%, twice as much as what we are seeing right now. And if you look at the chart, you wouldn't even say oh, there was a correction, right? But we had a correction of 60%. We had a correction here of 70%, and we could say, oh, there was COVID, cool. Without COVID, it was still 55%. But then again, yeah, it was whatever the reason was, we had that correction, right? But apart from all these minor corrections of exactly what we are seeing right now, actually, that are just noise on this chart, we've also seen, again, 30% right here. We have seen 27% right here, right? We've seen a lot of these corrections, even here in the middle of alt season, 35%. And then we had that bigger one, 70%. Like what we're seeing right now, it's again not nice, but it's also not weird and it's not different. Cheers. So I'm making this video just to tell you guys that, like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, okay, we need to zoom out a little bit. Because I think that this is the average sentiment. Somebody on the last video said, again, wrong. I looked in that video at monthly and weekly charts, right? What could happen over the coming months / rest of the year. One day later, we get a correction and somebody says, you're wrong. Like, if this is how we look at crypto, if we are so focused on the hourly chart, you're gonna fuck yourself up mentally, right? Don't be glued to the charts like this, like, oh, what happens this minute? It's going down, it's got fuck! Like, how is that gonna help anyone? Unless you are like longing, shorting, whatever, right? But if you look at the bigger time frame, if you are investing, not really trading, but investing, right? And you look at the bigger time frame, you can look at it like, yeah, you know, that gives you so much more perspective, in my opinion. So a couple things that I want to take you through right now before we wrap it up. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance without stable coins, right? Bitcoin dominance without stable coins, it depends how you look at it, right? You could say like, hey, we had a hard fall right here and we start to recover. Same as a hard fall right here, start to recover, right? And then back on the way up. We could say that, and that could be the case. That could be, right? I have a lot of arguments for why that not could be the case as well. But overall, if I look at the Bitcoin dominance right here, right? I'm like, how high is it compared to last cycle? Right? And I'd be like, well, it's pretty much there, right? We went here. Does it mean we have to go here? Look, for the people in crypto say we have to go there. You have to do something else with your life. Like that we like went there before doesn't mean that we have to go there again. It doesn't work like that, right? Doesn't work like that. Overall, I look at this and be like, yeah, look, if I put the oscillator risk score on it, this is an indicator that we've created for the blockchain decoded platform. You will soon find it once the platform goes live. One of the best indicators, in my opinion, out there, just to give you perspective. It just shows like, hey, we are now flashing red. What is that? It kind of means that we in history have not spent a lot of time above the current level. Right? Meaning that the level where we are right now is not, historically speaking, not sustainable. Right? And we are now sitting at 0.78, which means that 22% of the time, of all the historical time, we have spent above it. Right? But 78% of the time we have spent below it. So it's telling me like, okay, you know, like be careful at this area. Be careful, right? And you can put this on a lot. This is the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stable dominance, right? And it's again now flashing red. It came out of it for a little while, and now it's there again, right? This is pushing 80, 82% for a long, long time already, right? But this is showing whenever this goes up, it means money flows from crypto into Bitcoin, ETH, or stables, right? So basically from alts into anything else, if the chart is sitting high. If it's sitting low, then it flows from everything, whatever, to altcoins. Yeah, if I look at this chart, I'm like, whoa. If this was an altcoin, I would be scared to hold this, right? Because this is such a distribution phase. This is such an oscillator, right? Again, also not saying that it has to go down here. But yeah, if it's oscillating, there's a good chance that it will, right? Accumulation, uptrend, distribution, downtrend. Accumulation, uptrend, distribution, downtrend. That's what it usually does, right? could it go? Everything is possible. But is it wise to put your money on that? I would be careful with that, right? So saying like, hey, being bullish on alts is wise right here, right? But it's not about the level for most people. That's not the problem this cycle. It's about the time. And that's understandable. Because this chart has been here for a long time, right? Not much has changed level-wise. But it's been here for a long time. So altcoin holders, yeah, being bullish on altcoins right here, of course, it's the smartest move. But you have to have a buckload of patience. And yeah, that's a little hard. I definitely, I agree. Like, Jesus, I want to buy my house already, right? I have to sleep in my office every day. It sucks. I really don't. If we look at the USDT and USDC dominance, this is how it's looking right now. And to be honest, I can see it go here before it goes here, right? The bounce on this chart, on this level right here, was strong, right? So could it go back to 7%? Possible, right? That would mean a pretty decent correction in the market, right? Unless a lot of money from outside is flowing in, right? Like last cycle also, we have seen altcoins blowing up while this chart actually was going up. And that's just because a lot of money was added to the crypto market. But let's assume that that's not happening at this specific moment. Yeah, then the total crypto market can take a pretty decent hit. So yeah, look, on the shorter time frame, I don't know, anything could happen. Why are you not working anymore? Stupid light. But it could definitely take a correction in the meantime, right? Here, when we were going from this level to this level right here, look, the total crypto market also went down. Possible. But I don't know. I don't really care much about the short time frame. I do look at the total crypto market and I'll be like, okay, trend lines matter, right? We know why. Up, down, or let me up, right? Bounce of the middle, retest, fail, down, right? Up, all the way, retest, fail, down. Up, resistance at the middle, broke it, retest at the middle, and then go up. That's so far the structure for the total crypto market. It's gaining, right? It's gaining. It's not like 2021. 2021, you could not have drawn a parallel channel. You had to just go with a vertical bar, right? Like, that was crazy. You could have literally, like, well, you could have maybe if you take a certain zoom on it. I don't even like know if we exclude this wick, then maybe something makes sense. Like, yeah, a little bit, right? But overall, this was so much more parabolic than now, right? So yeah, this crypto market so far is slower. It is more boring. And it can wreck you if you are in the wrong projects. Because let me tell you, I'm a project owner. I know also from my own project, we're not giving up right now, right? The market is boring, it is slow, it is not nice, we have to hold on, it's demotivating for our holders, etc. But I have the conviction as a project owner. A lot of low cap shitcoin project owners, they don't have experience in this market, right? And they now feel like, man, they feel just like you. Like, it's not working, fuck it, let's give up. And they rock their projects, right? And I think that that's also a reason why this cycle is mostly rock season. Because people have TikTok brains, they don't have patience. And that also goes for project owners, right? And therefore, eventually the quality will win. So you don't see me mention like really micro caps on this channel. Like, I don't know when the last time was, but not really anymore, actually. It's not the market cycle for it right now. Not now. When the whole macro goes risk on, yeah, sure, right? But it's not the case yet. Maybe September, right? Like August, September, like they could, or at least August could be a little boring, sideways, down, whatever. And maybe in September after the new FOMC, we get some good news, right? But again, you don't need to. Right? Ethereum gave you a 3x in 3 months. The lowest risk, highest cap altcoin out there. Why the fuck would you risk on some nonsense shitcoin if Ethereum gives it? Why? Right? Super, relatively high cap, did fantastic, right? And if you now look at the Sidus, for example, look, Sidus, low cap, right? People feel like, let's take risk. Yeah. This is the outcome of taking risk, right? Of course, it had a moment in this market where it ripped, right? But it gave it all back plus more. It went down 96%. Fuck. That's a lot, right? And I am not like, I mean, I don't know really about Sidus at this point. If you want to buy it anywhere, look, if this is not that, then this is probably such an insane buy right now. Because from this level going back to where it came from, it's 25x. Right? And this was not alt season. Right? But for now, Dogecoin steadily going up. Cardano steadily going up. Ethereum steadily going up. Render a little bit less strong, but oh yeah, well, a shorter time frame, but longer time frame, insane, right? Tau, right? Like, let me put it like this: at least holding up, right? But Arrow, also in the last couple of months, did a 4x almost, right? AVAX is a little like, like boring, right? It's not giving you the most fantastic gains at this stage, but it's also not wrecking you. And a lot of people are, I think, now just looking for ways not to get wrecked, right? While still having exposure. And you could just be in Bitcoin to do that, right? I mean, that's the way to do it. But don't expect, like in your wildest dreams, maybe this cycle you can get a 3x out of it. Yeah, some people want a little more exposure than that. Also, again, looking how the Bitcoin dominance, where it's sitting right now, I would say of all the time that you had buying Bitcoin here now, really, it kind of looks like try again next cycle, right? But then at least go into the higher caps, right? And you might feel like, well, the higher caps won't give you more than a 5x. Maybe not, but maybe welcome to crypto, right? Again, we have $4 trillion almost sitting in the market right now. If you look at how altcoins are doing against Bitcoin, it's sitting at lows right now. If this has a mini bounce, then there are easy 5x's already, right? Let alone the slightly lower caps. So I am not really myself making trades right now because I feel like my cash crypto ratio is good as it is. But I would say if you look for a level to get some good DCAs in, on the shorter time frame, I would say watch others. This level, give or take, and if it gets to around 250, perfect. And let me put it like this. And if you want to look for a second DCA level, yeah, then it's this bull market trend line for now, right? And depending on when we get there, right? 210 billion, something like that. Right, so that's down another like 20% from this point. I think that that's a good level. I think that's really a good level. And you might be like, yeah, what if it breaks? Yeah, what if it broke here? 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 So far it didn't, right? And you just made insane gains if you bought these lows. So yeah, that's the risk you are taking. That's crypto. But in the meantime, to wrap it up, if you look at the alt season, right? Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. Look, again, I said in the latest video, like so far, it's just a dead cat balance. It's not an alt season at all, right? Not now, not now. But it is at least showing some good strength, and it's coming out of an area, right? Like this whole area right here, where we have support here, support, right? We finally got there. It went as low as 0.26, right? I feel like, man, this is getting interesting at these levels, right? And that we don't bounce and bam, go up like right away. Whatever, right? Whatever. So far, it's what happened here. We swept that low and we went up, right? Here we kind of swept this. Yeah, I don't know where the fuck you take it from actually. But we got green candle, green, right? This month is 2 days in. Last month was a pretty decent green month. Big part is wick, but a big part is also just full candle. And that's strength, right? Up 13% against Bitcoin, that's strength, right? It's at the moment of recording, the 2nd of August. We still have like the whole month to go. Let's see how it plays out. That it's now down like with 1.6% this month so far. Okay. Yeah. We'll see how it goes, right, with the rest. But this is the time, in my opinion, where we really should be excited and not too bearish anymore, right? Being bearish here, all made sense. But I stopped being bearish around this point right here, at the end of 2024, right? Was that wrong? If I said that I was trying to time the bottom, then it was wrong. But if I said that I was like, this is good enough for me, I'm DCAing, that's fine. And the rest is a matter of patience. And we'll see. Maybe we get to that point, right? Where we get that alt season again. Then, hey, we make like so much money and this was all worth it, right? And maybe we don't this time. Maybe this time is going to be different. Right? But if I'm gonna bet on the fact that this time is gonna be different, I'm for sure not making money. So yeah, that's it. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments down below. I cannot really spoil Blockchain Decoded yet, but it's gonna be the platform basically that gives you access to everything you need to know in crypto. Let me know if you feel like, hey, I want to beta test this thing, right? So I'm gonna pick one person in the comments that tells me if they want to do a test. I'm saying this at the end of the video. Nobody's watching anymore, so I don't get any comments about it. But if you are one of the few, then you can try it out, see if it works nicely, and you'll just be the first. And that's just really cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. See you in the next one.